Hi, I'm Tom from Dreamworm. I play guitar and sing, and I'm here today to tell you a bit about it. The idea for Dreamworm started a few years ago during a period of my life when I was homeless temporarily. I came up with this story of a dreamworm, a giant beast from another dimension coming to swallow the earth, and started writing songs about that. And that it ended up being the album, the concept for the album that we created. I recorded that with my old bandmates, John and Chris from Chain Lizard. They did a really great job. They kind of helped me flesh out the songs and get them out how they were sounding in my head. So I just played the guitars and bass and did the vocals. They programmed in the drums and keyboards, and it ended up sounding pretty good. Then I recorded another song with Mike Trubetskov at EOL Studios, and that ended up being the song that we did the video shoot for. So I had this material, then it was a case of finding musicians to play it so we could actually do a live show as a band. Because otherwise, I said otherwise it would just be me up there doing karaoke, which is not quite as good. So that album, it's chronicling the last days of humanity before the dreamworm arrives. So it's chronicling all the sins and wicked ways of humanity, There's a song about how we're destroying the planet that we live on, called Virus. There's a song about how we're killing each other. So it's very dark, it's very heavy theme. And then the new stuff I'm writing is in a new direction. It's more about transformation. So it's like the story picks up where the last album left off after the dreamworm swallowed the world. And in the mythology of the dreamworm, the children of the worm, which is the cult that formed to worship the dreamworm, and they believe that after the dreamworm swallows the world, the true believers, the people who surrender to the dreamworm, will be transformed and given new life, and everyone who doesn't will die a horrible death, So this second album, the theme of it is, rather than being more about sort of destruction and depravity and murder and all that, it's more about transformation and about, it's a bit more abstract.
Sound and sensation, blurring the lines, faster and faster still.
Ultimately, I want to leave it open to interpretation as well, because I think that ultimately music or art or whatever is about getting across a feeling and an emotion. And that's what you want to transmit more than anything. The first album, the theme of it is really, it's a lot of dark themes about death and destruction, because in the story we've reached the point of no return for humanity, and I just wanted to really dive into that. It can be really cathartic to really explore some of those dark themes of hopelessness, and I've felt that way at times about the world, and just looking at the news, or looking at the rate at which we're destroying our planet, it's easy to feel a sense of hopelessness. So to get some of those feelings out in the music was therapeutic in a way. It's just interesting, looking back, and I feel like all the different times in my life and different things I've done have had an influence and have come out in some of these songs, in a way. All the different experiences I've had and music that I've been exposed to and people that I've met, it all provides inspiration for songs. It was just a dream come true to hear these songs finally, how I'd been hearing them in my head, and it still is. I just love that whole process. I did a few demos and things, but then it was a case of sort of finding people to work with who I wanted to work with, and the album, doing it with my old bandmates, they were great. We're good friends, and it was just good to work with them. It's good to work with people who are professional and who are good at what they do, but who you get along with on a personal level. Makes the whole process a lot easier. And having played in a band with them, we think in similar ways musically and stuff. So it's good. They came up with some good ideas that ended up adding to the whole vibe of the whole thing. So the recording process was really fun, and I loved you know, getting these songs down and then hearing them come to life like the way I'd imagined them, with keyboards and strings added to them and drums and everything else. So it became more than just me sitting in my bedroom playing guitar and singing these songs, you know. So then it was a case of, once they were recorded, it was then a case of, okay, now I need to find some musicians who can pull this stuff off so we can do it as a live performance. It was always what I wanted, you know. I always wanted Dreamworm to be an actual live band, you know, not just a studio project. It's alchemy, turning base metals into gold. But it's a bit more abstract than the first album. It's a bit more about conveying a feeling, and the feeling of transformation and the process involved in transformation. So it fits into that whole story, but it's also on a more personal level, like I guess what I've experienced in my life with being a person who's interested in growth and transformation, and sometimes that process isn't always easy. And you know, the ups and downs of life, and you know, heartbreak and failure in various ways in life, and how ultimately I believe that we're all on a path of growth and transformation and evolution in one way or another. It's about conveying some of those, a bit of hope, a bit more positivity than the first album, which is all about doom and gloom and death and destruction. With that first album, it's like the first time a lot of people are going to hear stuff under the name Dreamworm, and it's like, what kind of impression do I want to create? And so I wanted it to be heavy, you know, because it's a metal band, like that's the kind of music I want to make. So, you know, some of these songs I was just out to write the heaviest stuff that I possibly could. I don't want every song to sound the same. I want to. Each time I'm trying to create a song that's got its own feel and its own vibe, but that it's different to the other stuff I've done. Honestly, I feel like the video clip, I found the right people and it came together really easily. Ellie and Max from Moonhouse, and they were just really easy to work with. They're great people, easy to get along with. They've done video clips before. We met a few times and I told them, you know, the idea I had for the video clip.
Shake, change, embrace the strange as we transform.
They just took it and ran with it, and then I got the performers together, so the dancers and the fire performers, who are all friends of mine. They just turned up and did these amazing performances, which we captured and then put it together in the video. It was so much fun to do. That day just had an absolute blast. It was a dream come true for me, because I love music videos. Like, I can sit and watch music videos all day long, you know, like it's just such an awesome art form, because you've got, you know, the song and then you've got this visual, and a really good music video. The two go together to create something greater than either of them are on their own. I feel like we kind of captured the vibe of the song pretty well and got it out. And yeah, I was really stoked with the end result. So I'm just fortunate to know some good creative people, and was able to bring them together to create something awesome.
We are reborn.
So we've recorded this song, which is going to be the next single, and we're going to shoot another video for that, and then we'll do a launch. So stay tuned for the details for the launch. The next song is about the beginning of a journey, so embarking on that voyage of transformation and kind of breaking through into a new reality. I think it's also about, you know, leaving your old reality behind, and a new reality being perhaps not being what you expected or not anything you could imagine, but just embracing it. Again, I was able to find these musicians these guys who ended up getting a band together for the launch, you know, for the album launch and the video launch. And you know, they're all busy working musicians playing in other projects and that. But we managed to get a few rehearsals together, and we got up there and played. And looking at the video footage before, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, considering it was the first gig, and considering, you know, we only got probably 3 or 4 rehearsals in the band. They did a pretty good job. It originally started that night as like, it's my birthday party, and I turned 35, so I was like, all right, I want to chuck a big thing. And so when I first booked it, I didn't even have a band, but I just thought, all right, well, I'll make it a birthday party, and I'll get all these awesome bands to play, and we'll at least play the video clip, because I'm going to do this video shoot. And then I started to think, well, maybe I could even get a band together by then. And then I was like, right, I'm doing it, I'm getting a band together. And once I was decided that, I was committed. But there were times when I wondered if it was going to happen, you know, but it just all came together, and the pieces came together. And it's amazing what happens when you really commit to something. You find the right people. I just picked some of my friends who are my favourite musicians, like the guys from Devil Monkey, who, you know, James has now become a good friend. They just have an awesome live act. Like, they put on green masks and hazmat suits and jump around playing noisy electro rock. Like, what could you not love about that? And then Wild Grace, who were just incredible, you know, and the girls really put together a really awesome piece of choreography, which I just felt fitted in perfectly with the whole vibe of the night. Yeah, it was just beautiful, just beautiful. And then, you know, after we played, Andrew played, Dead Unit, also known as Andrew from Big Fucking Robots. And he's just one of my favourite DJs. Like, I've just seen him play at lots of festivals, and he just plays really awesome, heavy, funky bass music, you know, drum and bass and glitch kind of stuff. It's just really easy to dance to, I find. I just wanted to put on something that I would go to, so mission successful, you know. The guys from Rubik's were really great. You know, Matt did some really awesome visuals and lighting, just all added to the vibe of it. And, you know, pretty much everyone there were all either people I knew or friends of friends. And, you know, yeah, most of them were friends of mine, people who I invited personally to come. So it was amazing. It was like a big party with all my friends there and a lot of my favourite performers. And I got to play myself, so it was like one of them. It was the best birthday present I could have given myself. If you want to check out Dreamworm, it's www.thedreamwormiscoming.com. Check us out, we'll put the link in this video, and we'll see you at a gig soon.